Hello guys, how's it going? My name is Dalaran, and I think it's official. Enhancement Shaman, at least as of this week, is actually on the insane level. There was a lot of changes that have happened to classes, and quite a bit of legendary changes to Shamans in general. And it looks like Enhancement, out of the 3 specs, drew the biggest straw to basically the size of a stick to beat everybody over, with the massive Windfury buffs as well as a legendary that's making Enhancement Shaman do absolutely astronomical damage in terms of just how much raw numbers you can achieve. And this has made Shamans a very much wanted PvE spec, but potentially could be also a great PvP spec with massive bursts, at least for this week. Most likely gonna get nerfed. Let's take a look at exactly what I'm talking about, where we're gonna take a look at the legendary as well as the changes that have happened to Enhance. So before we really get in, this is a change that have happened recently on the beta servers. Most likely Blizzard has overtuned something, and it's most likely gonna get nerfed next week. But as of right now, Enhancement is in an insanely good spot. In terms of the damage, it really came from Windfury getting buffed. Windfury, the buff itself, has been on the much weaker side. A lot of things with Enhancement Shaman actually seem really good on paper, but I feel like have been on the weaker side than normal. You have Windfury weapon, which upon you enchant a new weapon would give you a main attack 25% chance to do 2 extra attacks. But the damage that dealt was very minor. It was really not worth anything unless you were to double enchant Windfury on both weapons. Right now, Blizzard fixed it. You can't do that at all. So you have to have a Windfury weapon in main hand and a Flame Tongue in the offhand for the playstyle to work. They're making sure you can't really do anything cheesy whatsoever. So Windfury has been buffed recently. It should do a little bit more damage now. And it feels like the damage is actually quite high. Particularly, you'll notice it when you're running the talent of Forceful Winds, where normally Forceful Winds would not make Windfury weapon do nearly as much damage, but now Forceful Winds, in a pure single target playstyle with Storm Fury, as well as Elemental Assault, which both buff the effectiveness of Storm Strike, can actually compete with your Storm Strike damage. So together, you're just gonna go for a normal plain rotation, the very most plain Jane stuff, without a Windfury totem at our side, because I'll need that for a little bit later. And as we're hitting the enemy, as we're trying to get some damage out, you'll notice that Storm Strikes as well as Windfuries are kind of doing stuff, especially as soon as Windfuries are getting a bunch of procs back and forth together with stacks for Forceful Winds. So it's looking a little bit better. The numbers are kind of okay, but for the most part, Shamans have had lower than ideal numbers in my opinion. The playstyle is super enjoyable, and I just want for Blizzard to finally get the tuning done in order for it to really shine. But as you can see, Windfury and Storm Strikes are kind of being competitive in your playstyle, especially with how little haste I have for this current build. So the changes that have happened though made Shamans especially break out of the mold into even more bonanza damage has been the Doom Winds Legendary, which now reads: dropping Windfury totem grants you a 100% chance to gain Windfury weapon. This is nothing new. You used to double up Windfury on each weapon, and with Doom Winds it will give you a ton of damage. But now, it also increases Windfury weapon damage by 100% for 12 seconds. So this is the legendary artifact weapon ability made into a artifact weapon ability of Legion made into a legendary of Shadowlands, with even extra buffs to be super strong, while just about every single other enhancement legendary with Legacy of Frostwitch, Primal Actuators, which I think this one also got slightly buffed, I believe. This one got nerfed and this one got nerfed. But Doom Winds, still really good. Let me show you what that looks like. So when you play in the same playstyle, you saw my damage numbers and kind of how things were working on. But this time when I walk up to the Valiant of Humility, I'm just going to walk up and do the same thing I did just now in terms of the procs, and you'll see just the damage. I'm doing 6k burst without pressing a single bursty cooldown, just dropping down the totem, which I guess that legendary would do it, and you could see where Windfury is at in damage, which is why I feel that this is for some reason, some way, somehow bugged or broken, because I don't think Windfury damage should be doing this much damage. I mean, it's good that Windfury does stuff, and I do have a talent that makes Windfury a little bit better, but this seems a little bit excessive, to be honest. And this creates insane bursts for Shamans. In Mythic Plus dungeons, it's actually quite fun. It's actually the only other way to describe it is fun. because you drop down the Windfury totem, you got yourself mad damage every 1 minute, you're really bursting things down, and because of the way the Shaman has been designed, you're not really an AoE spec. You don't really have buttons like the Frost Mage with Blizzard to just AoE things. Rather, you cleave things. You do a lot of single target, get yourself some procs, chain lightning, crash lightning. Certain abilities become a bit of cleave focus, but you still have single target priority at all times. And with this legendary, the playstyle of this kind of cleave with a single target priority really does get to shine more, and the damage really has a massive payoff. Together with some of the other burst cooldowns, now this legendary combo with Windfury can even be stronger. I mean, if you really want to just have the most amount of burst, you would pop in, drop down your totem, go summon every one of your pets available, drop down a full Ascendance that's going to give you auto attacks even more damage because they now go through enemies' armor, and just start spamming wind strikes as much as possible, reaching up to 10k DPS as an enhancement shaman, which is something that I think has been kind of unheard of for enhancement, at least in Shadowlands so far. And the damage of Windfury just keeps going up. I mean, this basically became your Chaos Bolt at this point with this change to legendary. Again, there is and I'll mention this multiple times in a row, this is a really good chance that this is not supposed to react this way. Very good possibility that this is not supposed to function as it does, and there's something about this legendary and Windfury combo that's absolutely broken beyond belief. However, it's definitely a ton of fun when it really procs and you're popping off the big cooldowns. And for, I think, the first time for enhancement shamans, this has been an opportunity for them to get massive damage kind of almost out of nowhere. And it's good. I mean, enhancement are finally becoming more wanted in Mythic Pluses, in PvE content in general, from I guess in raids if there were a testing. I'm pretty sure there'll be a lot of enhancement shamans all over the place trying to see just how hard they can hit a boss. Imagine this kind of damage in PvP, which would make sense for enhancement shamans if they don't have a lot of defensives, but they have insane glass cannon burst. Well, then at least you have something to leverage for your spec. Even though you don't live long, neither does your target. So this could be something very interesting to bring into shamans going forward. Again, we are not sure if this is supposed to be this way, and maybe next week Blizzard is going to nerf this all the way down below ground, and this playstyle is just going to die on itself. But I'm hoping Blizzard keeps it in some way or another. I'm hoping they at least, if they tone this down, at least keep this playstyle, at least keep this viability. And while they might bring down the strength, I really do hope it does retain to be strong. Maybe not overpowered, where you might even say it's at right now, but I would really want this playstyle to be strong. This is, I think, the first time I've seen Enhancement Shaman really get some what felt like deserved damage for it, because the spec has had a very interesting change to the playstyle and I really liked it so far. But it felt like so far on level 60 beta, the numbers never really fit the mold, never really fit like a glove. And with this change, all of a sudden Enhancement Shaman is just popping out with big Windfuries. It's absolutely fantastic. So I wanted to share this with you to let you know where Shaman is at right now. Good possibility next Wednesday all this goes in a dumpster, but so far it has been immensely enjoyable. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really do hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you think about the Enhancement Shaman with this update so far. Do you think this is overpowered and overtuned, and maybe Blizzard should go and nerf it? I guess we'll find out Wednesday if Blizzard is going to let this stay or if this is going to be going away. But this has been awesome seeing Enhancement Shamans doing this much burst, and then seeing more people want to invite Enhancement Shamans because they can finally do some real damage. It has been a ton of fun, and I feel like for the spec that has been in a little bit of a limbo a bit on the beta, kind of sometimes doing okay-ish, so it feels like it's a final big payoff, but we don't know if it's going to stay. I really hope at some form it does. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and I'll see all of you guys in another video.